Hey gang, John Backrell here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Tuesday, July 15th, and that was really hard to say because I don't know if we've done one of these on a Tuesday before. But my videographer, Joshua, is going to be unavailable here for a while, so we had to get this video in, and I know you guys rely on it, so we wanted to get it done and out. Probably going to be a couple of weeks before we do another one. But we're in the dog days of summer, so it's really not going to matter a whole lot, to be honest. Things have kind of plateaued here as far as where fish are and all that kind of good stuff. Anyways, let's get on with the report. Water temp at Belle Isle is up to 75 degrees. That's up another degree from where it was last week when we did the last report, so midweek last week. So we're up just a degree. And now, based on the weather forecast, today is like the last really hot day for this week, it looks like. So the weather going for the rest of this week looks like the transition day is going to be Thursday. So tomorrow's going to be just a little bit cooler. And then on Thursday, looks like we're going to maybe have a bit of a north wind on Thursday, going to bring in much cooler temperatures. And then we're going to kind of stabilize and have really nice weather for Friday, all the way in the mid part of next week. So should be very comfortable temps. It's going to help with those water temps. It's going to maybe either drop them back a little bit or at least kind of plateau them where they are. But bottom line is it's going to be some good sleeping weather for us humans at night, and it's going to be some just much more comfortable temperatures to be out there on the water. So I know it's been hot, so there hasn't been all that much activity, honestly. A lot of guys going out early in the morning maybe, and then that's it, and then it kind of slows down. So satellite image looks great. Water is pretty much clear all over the lake. A little bit of color over there on the Canadian side, probably from some of those thunderstorms that we've had go through and when they empty out those fields over there. But the American side, for the most part, is pretty darn clear. There's some near shore cloudiness from, just from algae and some boat traffic and, just from the wave action along the shoreline a little bit. But other than that, once you get out a ways, it cleans up really fast. So, and I don't see anything in the forecast in the near future that's going to change that. So expect pretty darn clear conditions and, middle of the summer kind of stuff. I mean, that's just the way it is out here. Still lots of big perch coming from out there near the shipping channel. And I should just say near the shipping channel because it can be, well this side of it in weed beds, or it can be right along the shipping channel. It can be over on the Canadian side, and it can be anywhere from the dumping grounds all the way up to the South Channel. A lot of activities coming between the St. Clair Light, which is out in the middle by like the 24 can, all the way up to the Firecracker. So that's kind of just a general idea. And again, that's very typical for this time of the year. There's also fish down in the dumping grounds. There's also a shallow bite going on, remarkably, in and around the Lake St. Clair Metro Park and over there by South River Road. Remember, I just mentioned that off-colored water and actually ran into it just the other day when I was out there in my kayak, and I'll get to the kayak in a little bit here in the report. But there's a lot of fish holding in that off-colored water. If you can find stained water in shallow and you are limited with a small boat, give it a shot in there, even 5, 6, 7 feet of water. If you can't see the bottom, give it a shot, because with all that crystal clear water now, fish are kind of being forced into hiding in that off-colored water. In a lot of cases, if you got weeds also mixed in with that off-colored water, it gives them really good cover from all the predators. And perch are one of those species that'll get in that off-colored water and kind of hide in there and in that transition zone where it's kind of green, just like the walleyes do out there in a little bit deeper water. Same kind of deal for the perch and for smallies and other species too. Although a lot of the bigger fish have kind of moved out into deeper haunts. But my buddy Wayne Macklin was out a couple of days ago. He and his crew got some really nice perch, and I'm guessing they were out near the shipping channel too. Looked like they were kind of out in the middle of nowhere from just the pictures that I saw online. And also proves a point, like I was talking about, that this is the time of the year when those big smallies end up showing up out there with those schools of perch, because they got a really tanker of a smallie out there pushing 6 pounds and that's a really big fish this year with a lot of the reports I'm getting, even some of the tournaments that have been going on so far this year on the lake. The overall weights seem to be down quite a bit this year, and lots of 4-pound fish, but it's really tough to get those fish that are over 5, especially pushing 6, and at this time of the year especially. So a 6-pound fish this time of the year is an absolute beast. But one of the places where you can get some of those big fish at this time of the year is out in and around all those schools of smaller perch, and in a lot of cases that means out there near the shipping channel in that deeper water. So now talking about the smallies, smallies best numbers right now are out in like 11, 12 feet of water. It's what I'm hearing from a lot of guys, especially down in the Mile Road area and then working your way south down towards the Detroit River out in front of the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. But that 11 to 12 foot range seems to have the best numbers of fish. And that's a lot of fish in the 2 to 3 pound category. And again, those 4 pound plus fish have been very elusive after the spawn this year. You can move out deeper if you want bigger bites, but overall, as far as numbers go, if you stay in that range, fishing grass flats, drop shotting, swim baits, all your standard table fare. A lot of guys are throwing tubes as well right now and doing pretty good. So, but that's kind of your best bet for those smallies. Now, Dylan Grubb was out with his fiancee, Gabrielle. Dylan's got Extreme Outdoorsman. He's also got a YouTube channel, and they got into some nice smallies, and it doesn't look like they were out real far either, looking from their photos and pictures. And they got some really nice fish out there. So looks like, Dylan, you got a keeper. So keep at her, bud, and we'll see you on YouTube. But check out Dylan's channel. I think he just did a video out there of this last outing. So they got some nice smallies. Muskie bite. A lot of you guys talk about muskies. I'm trying to keep an eye on it for you guys. It seems to be that the muskie bite is picking up, just watching the reports and listening to my customers that are coming in. Guides like Garrett Samsel and Jason Quintano have been consistently getting some better quality fish, especially fish in that 50-inch class now. So it seems like whatever was going on maybe a little earlier in the summer, maybe it was we had a late spawn, and so these fish have taken longer to recover from the spawn and are finally getting the feedback back on. But it seems like they're getting some better fish now than what they were a week or two ago. So the reports are definitely picking up. Even getting some crazy reports. I had one customer come in and was talking about catching several fish in the last couple of weeks, fishing crazy shallow water, a couple of feet of water, big sand flats with intermittent weed pockets, and gin clear water, and got some really nice quality fish, and I saw the pictures. So not sure if he was up fishing by the channels. Maybe he was. That would make a little bit more sense if he was fishing up in and around those channels and channel cuts up there with that cooler water coming down. Maybe that's the trick. And a lot of times at this time of the year, those weed flats up there in and around Grass Island can hold a lot of fish this time of the year. So maybe that's what was going on with that bite. Walleye bite seems to, at least the walleye activity for the walleye fishermen seems to have slowed down quite a bit right now, although I do know they're still getting some fish pulling bottom bouncers and inline sinkers with their harnesses, and a few guys starting to pull cranks out there, although with all the weeds it gets to be an awful lot of work this time of the year, keeping that floating weeds off of your cranks. But the walleye bite overall, at least the activity has slowed down, except up there on the St. Clair River along the boardwalk. We're getting reports of guys walking the wall and throwing lighter jigs, fishing those fish that are up high, that are, fishing higher in the water column, either chasing bait or maybe taking some mayflies off the surface up there. But they've been catching walleyes up there on the wall. The only downside up there at this time of the year is that sunset, a couple of hours after sunset, those mosquitoes are just a nightmare, I guess. So, either load up on the mosquito repellent or tough it out, or wait it out. If you can wait it out long enough, it seems like the bugs, settle down after they've had their fill of everybody else that's out there, and then you can get on with business of fishing. But the mosquito hatch has been pretty heavy, especially with these warm temps that we've had. So I did mention that I was out in a kayak. So we have a new member to our SDI family, and that is a new canoe F10. It's a 2023 model, and I've been working on getting her ready, getting her ship shape, and getting it laid out the way that I like it, and getting, just getting all the doodads and accessories on it and getting used to using it. And I was out just a little bit off the point at Metro, just messing around for the shakedown cruise. Caught a few smallies, caught a couple of largemouths, nothing big, saw some fish, saw a lot of perch like I was talking about. I saw a lot of perch following my swim bait in about 6.5, 7 feet of water. I was really surprised, actually some nice perch. So look, you're going to probably see more videos, or at least more shots and little snippets maybe in the fishing report of me in the kayak here going forward. I really enjoyed the little bit of time that I spent out there in it. It was as close to ice fishing as you can get in the summertime, and I kind of like that up close and personal thing with the fish. So expect to see more of that content in the upcoming fishing reports, and possibly some little specials that I'll put together if I can get some good video coverage when I'm out there fishing. So with that said, we've got some beautiful weather ahead of us. Maybe a little bit of wind on Thursday as that transition happens, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too extreme at this point when that north wind comes in. So if you haven't had a chance to get out this summer and take advantage of the perch bite that's going on out there, or some smallie fishing or whatnot, or just getting out with the family and enjoying it, you're going to have some great weather in the next several days to get out and do that, and we'll see you at the shop. Hey gang, if you like our content, hit the little subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll be notified as soon as we put out new stuff.